What's up guys, Enkiri here, and we're up to vlog number 31. Today's workout is my overhead press singles day. So I'm knocking out 5 singles at 3 predetermined weights with about 60 seconds in between lifts. I start out this session with 172.5 pounds for the heaviest series of the day. Then I reduce the bar weight by 10 pounds and knock out 5 more singles. And then I reduce the bar weight by 10 pounds one more time and knock out 5 additional singles with the option of doing a rep out cluster set when I get to the final repetition. And I think in this particular session, I end up doing 5 additional reps with 152.5 pounds at the end of the strict press segment. These weren't too hard from a strength perspective, but they were a little bit rough from a technical standpoint. Overall, my bar path wasn't very efficient. And you can see I was throwing the weight out in front of me a little bit too much and then having to muscle it back into place after clearing my head. Not really what you want, but I made it through the session, and that's the most important part, I suppose. These technical issues were the most prevalent on the singles with 172.5 pounds, and then they kind of fade more and more as the bar weight gets lighter, which is likely due to 2 factors. One, the bar is lighter, so obviously I can move it faster and push through the sticking point more easily regardless of how crummy my technique may be. And 2, I've greased the groove a bit at that point, and so my body is finding a more and more efficient technique as I go along. I know I say it all the time, but I just need to keep chugging along. This is a patient lifter's lift, and a lot of these sessions are pretty soon just going to become me repeating them 2 or even 3 times before I earn the right to even add 2.5 pounds to the bar. I can feel myself getting better at the lift already, but I'm not necessarily stronger at it yet, if that makes sense. I talk about doing 225 all the time on this lift, but to get there, first I need to get back to 195 and then build to an all-time PR at 205, then 210, etc., etc. It's going to be a long ladder to climb to get where I want to be, but I'm willing to put in the work if my body is willing to adapt to it. After the presses, I moved on to volume dips and pull-ups. These volume dips have been getting really tough, and my performance on them is starting to become somewhat erratic and unpredictable. I'm still chasing a 5x5 with this weight, and I think so far the best I've done is 3 sets of 5 and 2 sets of 4. But I've had days where I couldn't even successfully hit a single set of 5. So I think the cumulative fatigue is starting to get to me here. And when I failed this session, I kind of decided right then and there it was time to switch things up. So ultimately what I'm going to be doing is keeping the pause dip session that I showed you guys last week for a little bit while longer, and then swapping out this volume session with some sort of barbell pressing exercise, either the flat bench press or the incline press, but most likely the flat bench, at least to start with. The difference will be that instead of using the bench press as a primary exercise and using the strict press and dip as assistance exercises, the latter two will be my primary exercises, and the traditional bench press will be the assistance lift this time. So I ended up with only 2 sets of 5 here on the dips, and then I somehow managed to gut out 3 additional sets of 4 reps. But regardless, the wheels have been spinning for too long at this point, so I think these changes will be good for me, both mentally and physically. In addition to the dips, you can see that I was pairing them up with some pretty easy pull-ups. My chin-up has become a little bit weaker as well these last few weeks, but mostly I think it's just become stale, which is more of a psychological thing than a physical one, because I'm still capable of putting in the work. It just feels more and more daunting every time I have to do it. So I decided to work in some easy pull-up sets here just for a change of pace. But my new training program will be giving me a break from all forms of pull-ups and chin-ups entirely for at least a couple months. And I'll be shifting my pulls onto Olympic lift variations with an emphasis on explosiveness. So that will have me power cleaning from the floor, something I haven't done in years and I'm going to try to relearn again, and doing snatch grip high pulls twice a week. This is in part just to give me a reprieve from all the heavy chin-ups I've done these last few months, let the connective tissue tenderness in my elbows calm down, and leave my body ripe to make some big gains when I re-implement this exercise. But it's also because I want to shift my overall training emphasis back onto power development for this next training cycle. I've done a few feeler sessions of sprints and box jumps so far, and I'm not starting off in a bad place in terms of explosiveness and power. So if I can make some progress on those Olympic lifts these next couple months, I should be able to hit some pretty big jumps and fast sprints by the end of the summer. So that's kind of going to be the main focus for these next couple months. Anyway, that's about all I got for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please make sure to throw me a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also, make sure you check back in on Friday for my main video of the week, which will be a very highly requested tutorial video on the push press, which is one of my all-time favorite exercises. That should be informative, so make sure you check it out. And other than that, as always, if you enjoy the content I produce, please share your favorite stuff somewhere, and together, let's make Forest of Wolves Gym one of the biggest fitness channels on YouTube. Keep training hard, and I will catch you guys next time.